What is going on, Thumbthumbs? This is Thumbbrother 2 bringing you guys another PGL video. This week, the Salt Lake City Swamperts took on the Carolina Liepards and Coach Cy. This was a very fun battle, I'm not gonna lie. Very fun, just all around. Really cool team to go up against. Very hard to prep for sure. Because my usual toxic shenanigans won't be working with that Tapu Fini around. But nonetheless, I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Ooh, I believe I messed up. Nope, no I didn't. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the battle. As you do see, he has Mew, Hitmontop, Tapu Fini, as aforementioned, Kyurem, the Rotom Heat, and the Swellow, who I honestly thought was going to be a Specs Boom Burst set, but as you guys do see, we're going to get into this battle, and it's definitely not the case. But like I said, we're having fun. We've been having fun for the rest of the PGL. We're going to continue having fun. Why does everyone seem to have this Como-O armor? I feel like the last 3 people I've faced, they've all had this Como-O armor. But we're going to go ahead and lead Emboar. It's just an all-around powerful lead. And we're going to go right up against this Mew here. Very awesome lead here, I'm not going to lie. But this Mew is going to go for the Swords Dance. A Swords Dance Mew? Really? Swords Dance Mew. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. This thing outspeeds us as well, as you guys did see. Flare Blitz is going to come off, get a huge burn. Flare Blitz burn, turn 1. It's amazing. We don't get burned back, but we do take a lot of recoil damage. Boom, Mew's almost dead, turn 1. I'm so happy, especially after setting up a Swords Dance. He's going to go ahead and go for the Zen Headbutt, surprisingly. And as you do see, that does still go ahead and knock us out, which is very unfortunate. Baconator definitely helped stop the sweep, but that Mew barely lives on 1, and it pissed me off so bad. But Thea's going to come in. Thea's going to be saving the day here. And he's actually going to go ahead and withdraw. He's going to withdraw the Mew on like 1 HP, which is really surprising. And in comes this Hitmontop. He's going to go for the Intimidate, of course. Well, he has the Intimidate, of course. Very bulky mon. I'm going to go for the SL Rock just to guarantee that we do outspeed this Mew, or we do knock out this Mew. I'm going to go ahead and swap out. I do not want to take a close combat to the face at all. I'm going to go right out into Tornadus, and he is going to go straight for the Fake Out. Really safe move, which is perfectly fine. He actually gets a crit Fake Out, though. I know all about crit Fake Outs if you've seen my stuff from LDL, but he's going to go ahead and swap right out. And he's going right out to Cyanoid, who is going to be that Tapu Fini. And here comes the Misty Surge. Of course, now I can't be able to do any type of toxic or burn shenanigans no more, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and go for the safe U-turn, go ahead and swap out into what I want to, which is definitely going to be X-Files, that Magna Zone. X-Files, I believe was, yep, he was holding the air balloon, as you guys do see. It was primarily to combat the, let's see, I believe it was to primarily combat the Kyurem with the, what's it called, with the Earth Power. But he's going to go right out into Pachinko, who is going to be that Rotom Heat. Perfectly fine. I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt just for some general damage. As we do see, it does roughly about 25%, which is, you know, nothing big, nothing bad. I do believe it was more so a physically defensive Rotom, if I remember my calcs right. But I'm going to go ahead and just swap right out. I'm not wanting to risk anything. Right out into Miltank with that thick fat. Miltank definitely going to be putting in the work here as Miltank eats up this overheat coming from this Rotom. Does nothing. So Rotom is now at -2 for special attack. We're going to get some leftovers, and that 2% is feeling good. So yeah, so far so good. We did lose Emboar, but you know, we still have a very powerful team behind us. I'm going to go ahead and double out, predicting him to swap something else in. But as you do see, he does not. He actually goes for the Volt Switch wanting to swap out. So I actually was able to get in my Mega Swampert pretty freely here. Big thing is just I did worry about any potential shenanigans that this Rotom Heat might have, but Mega Swamperts, and I'm feeling happy about it. He's going to go ahead and send in Kai that Hitmontop. Perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead, get my Mega Evolution off. If I recall correctly, I did go for Stealth Rocks. Yes, I believe I went for Stealth Rocks here, or a Toxic. Yeah, I went ahead and went for Stealth Rock. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so the rocks are up, which against his Rapid Spinner is honestly, like, not the best thing, honestly. But I went ahead and wanted to stay in just to get damage off on this Hitmontop, try and keep rocks off the field. He goes for the safe fake out once again just to get that little bit of chip damage, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to go for the Earthquake, get some huge damage off, regardless of with the Intimidate. I still do a huge chunk of damage to this Hitmontop, and he's going to go straight for the Rapid Spin. Perfectly fine, if you ask me. Right here, I should have just gone more offensive with Mega Swampert. I will say I should have just gone on the offensive. But he's going to go ahead and actually swap right out into Hawkeye, not wanting to take another Earthquake here, while I went ahead and I just reset up the Stealth Rocks. So, all in all, nothing gained, nothing earned. I should have gone for a different attack move predicting that something was coming in, but he does show the Flame Orb, which does let me know that this thing is the Guts set. So Facade comes off, does a huge amount of damage. I'm going to go for the Waterfall, try and knock this, try and do a huge chunk of damage to this thing. We do see it only does 50%. Mega Swampert is not physically infested or physically attacking this week. He's more so defensive, so I gotta start making some plays here. I'm gonna go right out into Thea. It's literally the only thing that can live a hit. And I can go for a Cell Rock the next turn, so we see how much damage that does. I'm trying to wear down this Swellow a little bit more, get it underneath that 25%. I'm gonna go ahead and definitely scare this thing out. But I can't risk anything. I'm going to go straight for that Cell Rock as he goes right back into that Hitmontop, which is perfectly fine. Another Intimidate, of course. Big whoop, big surprise. Who would have seen that coming? But I'm actually going to double back out here. I'm going to go right out into Tornadus, predicting something else to come in. Definitely something else to come in. And, of course, Fake Out comes once again. Big surprise. Definitely Fake Out is, might be been too much to predict. I just didn't want to over predict with this, so he's gonna go ahead and swap right out into the Pachinko, that Rotom Heat. Perfectly fine once again. Takes rocks damage now, which is really nice. I'm gonna go straight for the knockoff. It was a very safe knockoff for me to get, so now that Rotom cannot get any more health back this game, I'm gonna go ahead and swap right out because Tornadus can definitely be putting in more work. Going right back out into this Mega Swampert, and he actually shows the Pain Split. Funnily enough, we are right around the same HP, which works out really, really nicely for us. But he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, surprisingly. I was predicting maybe an Overheat or like something else, but I'm going to go for the Waterfall regardless. It's just a safe move for me to go for. We almost are able to knock it out, but with that burn, it does hinder us a little bit more. But I believe I have a little bit of a surprise for him here, because I was predicting, to be toxic. I was predicting to be burned some way or another. So regardless, here is this Hitmontop once again intimidating my Mega Swampert, and I'm going to surprise him with the Facade. I did predict Mega Swampert to not want to get hit with something, so I did bring the Facade. I'm very, very sad that didn't knock him out now, because he can go ahead and Rapid Spin the rocks away, which sucks. Definitely sucks. I'm going to go ahead and just reset the Stealth Rock, so predicting that. I do not want him to get rocks away, but I realized I should have just gone on the offensive right then and there and knocked out this Hitmontop and gotten and prioritized rocks for later. It's definitely my bad. So, what are you gonna do? Hindsight's 20/20. I should have just attacked then and gotten an extra turn from the burn. But regardless, Hitmontop is down. Now I'm at a very, very, very low health now. Here comes this Hawkeye. I gotta sack something. At this point. Rocks are gone. And I definitely could use rocks back up on the field. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap right out into X-Files. Which honestly, it sucks to lose my balloon this way, but X-Files could eat up the hit, as you guys see, and I'm free to pretty much go for a Volt Switch anywhere and everywhere I want. Burns more Flame Orb damage. He's gonna go ahead and withdraw here. Send out Beanie, who is going to be that Mew. He's finally going to go ahead and sack the Mew off. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch just to go ahead and get a safe swap into something else. Now, of course, he does get the initiative because of me going for a Volt Switch, because Maimond is sent in first, while he then gets the second to decide who he wants to send in. And I figured Tornadus was a pretty safe lead for the most part, and he's going to go ahead and send in Stark. Now, Stark, the Kyurem, it's like, well, this thing's definitely scarfed. Guaranteed scarfed. So I was also scarfed, so I figured I'm going to go ahead and go for the knockoff on him. But I realized in hindsight this probably wasn't the best thing for me, because with him locking himself into Ice Beam, I could have easily played around that for sure, gone out into Magna Zone. I didn't have to worry about the Earth Power or anything of that nature. So that was actually a big misplay on my part. I should have let him be Scarfed, had him lock into a move at the end. But nonetheless, I keep saying that a lot. But regardless, you know, we're here, we're doing what we need to do. The Misty Surge comes off from this Tapu Fini. I'm thinking, please don't send it in, please don't send it in, and sure enough it does. Toxic, of course, doesn't do anything, and now it's just downhill from here. It just a couple bad misplays really messed me up. I'm going to go ahead and swap back out into Armstrong, going to go ahead and sack it off just to get a safe swap into X-Files, and he's actually going to go for the Calm Mind. Like, why? Why does Tapu Fini get Calm Mind of all things? This mon's already broken with this ability. Why give a Calm Mind? Seriously, why? It does not make sense, ladies and gentlemen. It does not. But +1/+1, goes +2/+2. That's pretty much game, honestly. Tapu Fini does, like, seriously, Tapu Fini is too powerful for me to really take down. But regardless, I'm going to go for the Facade. Just try and get off any more damage I can. We do a huge chunk to it because we do a carry Facade, but it's a +2/+2 Tapu Fini. I mean, really, people. Really, what more can you do? What more can you do? I'm going to try, though. I'm going to keep going through the end, but he outspeeds. He outspeeds. Who would have thought that Tapu Fini was fully offensive here? Fully offensive. So, I know I prepped my Magna Zone to specifically outspeed like a defensive Tapu Fini by like 12 or 20 points. So it's unfortunate. It's very is unfortunate. However, like I said, this was definitely a difficult battle going into it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and stall out, you know, these last couple turns of Misty Terrain for what it's worth. But he's gonna go straight for the Moonblast at +2/+2. You're gonna see how much damage this does, boy. It does straight 50%, over 50%, and it's like, well, this has been a fun battle, and he's got leftovers as well. So he's just gaining, you know, health back more and more himself. So Mist finally disappears. It's like, okay, I can go for the Toxic now on something, which we do land on the Tapu Fini, which is really cool, really nice. I'm not going to fret. Landing Toxics is something I seem to do a lot. I'm not afraid to go for Toxic rather than Thunder Wave, if you guys remember our match against Crimson Seabad. But he's actually going to go ahead and go for the Taunt against us to prevent us from milk drinking and all that stuff. So very good play on his part, bringing the Taunt. He realizes that I do use Miltank very, very utility wise, and with maybe running one to two attacking moves. So very nice move. Calm Mind, let's see, Calm Mind, Moonblast, Surf, and Taunt. Very awesome moveset, very specifically planned for my team, so I really enjoyed that. Regardless, he's going to go ahead and go for another Moonblast. There's nothing much more I can do here. Miltank will suffer, you know, one more turn. One more turn here. But still, we're racking out toxic damage, which is nice. It does allow me to better the differential for this late game, because all that's left now after Miltank goes down is going to be Thea, our Lycanroc. I mean, with the Cell Rock, we could have, you know, with the Cell Rock and a couple other moves, we could have definitely done what we needed to do to take care of this, to, you know, even the playing field. I will say I should have brought Swords Dance on this Lycanroc set. Really wish I did, because after a no, I believe I did. I should have gone for +2 earlier, because after a +2, I really obliterated the rest of his team here. But, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. The Lycanroc comes in. I do have the Iron Head on this thing, if I'm not mistaken. No, I go for the Drill Run. I go for the Drill Run because I believe it's enough to take out this Tapu Fini. I was actually quite surprised. I didn't realize Drill Run would have knocked it out. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is a thing. But he's going to go straight out into the Stark. I know this thing was Scarfed. Once again, I should have knocked it off. I should have just let it locked into something. If I would have been able to keep rocks up on the field, that a Cell Rock would have been able to almost knock it out if it was a high roll. But Earth Power is going to come off, finish Lycanroc off, and Salt Lake City Swamperts take another loss in the PGL. But you know what? Like I said, it's all fun and games. We're here to have fun for the rest of the season. But good game to Sai and the Carolina Liepards. For sure, it was definitely a fun game, definitely a more difficult, challenging game to battle around like the tricks, like especially with Swords Dance Mew turn 1, the Tapu Fini, and that Gut Swellow. I could have sworn you were going to bring specially offensive Swellow, so it's whatever. But thank you guys so much for watching. Week 10 should be coming up tomorrow, and hopefully you guys should be getting Week 11 by the weekend for the regular upload schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Probably, yeah, maybe, possibly. So definitely be looking forward to that. I'm gonna get up out of here though. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Thumbbrother 2, and I'm out of here.